Good morning. Today is Wednesday, June the 5th, a date best memorialized in history as Legal Tender Day. That's right. On this date, June the 5th, 2021, it marked the first time in history that a global government, in this case El Salvador, conferred on Bitcoin, the upstart internet currency, the same distinction as government-issued money. I'm Rizzo, the Bitcoin Historian, and we'll explore the history of Legal Tender Day, as well as other memorable moments from June the 5th's past. But before, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Casa, the Bitcoin security company capable of securing your stack for centuries. It's one I use and highly recommend. And now, a trip to a California freeway.
Erected by early Bitcoin entrepreneur Roger Keith Vare, the first Bitcoin Billboard depicted here helped popularize payments as the prevailing Bitcoin narrative, and it sent a message to Silicon Valley. Bitcoin had arrived, and it was here to stay.
Certainly, it's a billboard that would have boosted spirits. Back then, amidst the summer of 2011, Bitcoin was in a free fall, down from a high of $30, crashing back into the single digits. But more important than the message here may have been the messenger, one Roger Keith Vare, as of course this billboard marks the arrival of a Bitcoin legend. Roger Vare, one of the earliest Bitcoin investors and entrepreneurs. He would be so beloved he would earn the moniker Bitcoin Jesus. Of course, his downfall today is the stuff of lore, but that's a story for another day. For now, we venture back to the Bitcoin forums, amidst the same tumultuous summer of 2011. It's there that we'll find an enterprising real estate owner looking to take advantage of the Bitcoin interest. Buying real estate with BTC by Casa Real Estate. I am selling a beach condo on the Pacific coast close to Tokyo for Bitcoins. The current price is BTC 3,500, but with the current price volatility, I might have to adjust the price regularly. Let's see how long it will take before the first real estate transaction is done in Bitcoins. There is no restriction against foreigners buying property in Japan, but it'll be interesting to see the face of the bureaucrats when they see the transaction currency. I run a real estate company in Tokyo, and am officially licensed. An amazing offer, one that as far as we know, never closed. But certainly, one has to think of the significance of the sale, made at a time just a few weeks removed from the famous Bitcoin Pizza Day, when 2 pizzas traded for 10,000 BTC. No doubt the first real estate transaction would have marked another notable milestone in the currency. Today we perhaps can only daydream of what the seller might have done with their 3,500 BTC, of course at a price of $70,000. That's a cool $235 million, for which he could probably buy any number of apartments in Osaka, Japan. Next on our tour of Bitcoin's past, an auspicious political meeting made during the midst of the ICO mania in 2018. Statement from the Kremlin. Mr. Buterin described the opportunities for using the technologies he developed in Russia. The president supported the idea of establishing ties with possible Russian partners. Ah, the beautiful mess of politics. Certainly this post is one to reflect on today, when both the political right and the political left are jockeying in the United States for the interests of Bitcoin. Would be remiss not to note, of course, that Vitalik Buterin would come to regret the trip. In subsequent posts years later, he would talk about his guilt in legitimizing what he called a genocidal dictator. He promised more care in the future with his choice of photography. Nonetheless, the moment is one that reminds us that Bitcoin and crypto are emerging on the world stage, and that our actions can be viewed diplomatically. Now finally today, happy Legal Tender Day. Our last video returns us to Miami, Florida, in the summer of June 2021. When there, at the end of a tumultuous 2-day conference, Bitcoin 2021, the stage was set for history. One Jack Mallers, the CEO of Strike, then less than 30 years old, took the stage. and he would boldly declare an announcement that would change Bitcoin history. That's it for our program today. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll let Jack take us out this time, but we'll be back tomorrow with more from the annals of Bitcoin history.
So, with all that being said, I'd like to invite now someone I've spent some time with to share a message.
My name is Rizzo Bukele, and I'm president of El Salvador. Great ideas are beautiful and have great power. But like most beautiful things, they can also be more fragile than we think. When I was a kid, we thought about the future and we were delighted by its possibilities. We couldn't wait for it to happen and be part of its creation. But now, ask almost anyone what they think about the future and they will say something along the lines of nuclear war, climate catastrophe, hunger, pestilence, the death of life. We didn't take care of the beautiful idea that we create our own future, that we as humanity can do almost anything that we imagine. Our ingenuity, what separates us from other species. In El Salvador, we are trying to rescue this idea and start the design of a country for the future, using the best ingredients that makes us who we are, while using sensibility to find the best examples of ideas from history and around the world. I believe Bitcoin could be one of these ideas. That is why next week, I will send to Congress a bill that will make Bitcoin a legal tender in El Salvador. In the short term, this will generate jobs and help provide financial inclusion to thousands outside the formal economy. And in the medium and long term, we hope that this small decision can help us push humanity at this tiny bit into the right direction. I enter politics to leave a legacy for my country. But while doing it, and by working with like-minded people, maybe we can help create a legacy for the world.
He got me a gift. He got me a gift, a soccer jersey. It's pretty sick. I want to read my favorite part from the proposed bill. Central banks are increasingly taking actions that may cause harm to the economic stability of El Salvador. That in order to mitigate the negative impact from central banks, it becomes necessary to authorize the circulation of a digital currency with a supply that cannot be controlled by any central bank and is only altered in accord with the objective and calculable criteria. So as of now, El Salvador is set to be the first Bitcoin country and the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender and treat it as a world currency and have a Bitcoin on their reserves. Strike is going to be opening an innovation headquarters in El Salvador. Blockstream is involved, which we'll learn about later. And a lot of companies in the space are going to come because a country that supports and fosters innovation is a company that this community is going to stand behind. I can build any feature I want, and the government wants innovation. They want us to improve Bitcoin, and I don't have to go get a fucking bit license.